Wow, what an unbelievable first day of executive orders and decisions by President Trump for Israel, the Jews, and freedom-loving Americans. Stick with me as I go through some of those things that to truly internalize how in one instant the world has truly changed for the better. We are now in a whole new world, one without the Obama-Biden deep state apparatus in charge of America that has done so much damage to America, Israel, and the whole freedom-loving world. And the best thing is that armed with his experience from his first term in office, President Trump came into his second term determined to immediately get rid of Obama-Biden deep state appointments and executive decisions that would be used to sabotage him and his administration from within from the get-go. Trump is much more knowledgeable about DC politics and how the government works in order to truly do what needs to be done to strengthen America and our allies from day one, from the first minute in office. Now, despite the painful realities of the current ceasefire extortion deal that I've been explaining to you in detail about the past few days, here, and here, a ceasefire that treated the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas supporting Qatar as a neutral mediator, even though Qatar financed Hamas, the October 7th massacre, and are directly responsible for the kidnapped Israelis in Gaza, we must focus on the broader context and future. Yes, this ceasefire extortion deal that President Trump wanted us to agree to is horrible, and we should have been able to free our hostages from Gaza, with Hamas being the one to pay the painful price, not us. Yet, in the same breath, President Trump has already, on day one of his presidency, implemented transformative policies that demonstrate his understanding of the stakes and his unwavering support for Israel, the Jewish people, and all freedom-loving people. These actions stand in stark contrast to the immoral policies of the Obama-Biden administrations. Here are some of Trump's key actions that restore morality and support Israel that Trump instituted immediately upon becoming the President of the United States of America. Number one, Trump is confronting campus Jew-hating anti-Semitism. This is huge.
Here's what I will do to defeat anti-Semitism and defend our Jewish citizens in America. My first week back in the Oval Office, my administration will inform every college president that if you do not end anti-Semitic propaganda, they will lose their accreditation and federal taxpayer support. Truth is, you don't have to do much after that. When you do that, it's going to work miracles. Please sit down. We will not subsidize the creation of terrorist sympathizers, and we're not going to do it certainly on American soil. We're not going to do it anywhere. Next, I will inform every educational institution in our land that if they permit violence, harassment, or threats against Jewish students, the schools will be held accountable for violations of the civil rights law. Very important. Jewish Americans must have equal protection under the law. They're going to get it.
Trump's pledge to strip accreditation and funding from colleges that fail to combat Jew-hating anti-Semitic propaganda isn't just about protecting Jews, it's about preserving American values and protecting American students. Because anti-Americanism is also packaged together with the Marxist Jew-hating anti-Israel methodology. Number two, he voiced a clear stance on Israel's continued war to destroy Hamas in Gaza. While signing executive orders in the Oval Office, Trump was asked about Gaza, and he said this.
How confident are you, Mr. President, that you can keep the ceasefire in Gaza and conclude the three phases of this deal?
I'm not confident. That's not our war, it's their war, but I'm not confident, but I think they're very weakened on the other side.
Do you support the two-state
Gaza, boy, I looked at a picture of Gaza. Gaza is like a massive demolition site. That place it's really got to be rebuilt in a different way.
Do you plan to help rebuilding Gaza?
I might. You know, Gaza is interesting. It's a phenomenal location. On the sea, best weather. You know, everything's good. It's like some beautiful things could be done with it, but it's very interesting. But some fantastic things could be done with Gaza.
How How do you see the future in governance for Gaza?
Well, it depends. I can't imagine you could have, well, you certainly can't have the people that were there. Most of them are dead.
Now, we have no clue how things will develop, but it sounds pretty clear that President Trump understands that Hamas will not allow the whole ceasefire deal to go through, the ceasefire extortion, and highlighting that it's Israel's war, not America's war, and hopefully he will stand down as Israel does what we have to do in Gaza, which means destroying Hamas and remaining in Gaza forever. So there is hope from his initial words about Gaza in the Oval Office. Number 3, revoking Biden's sanctions on Israelis from Judea and Samaria and those who protested against the immoral Biden policies, forcing us to give humanitarian aid to Hamas. Number 4, restoring sanctions on the International Criminal Court, the ICC. Trump reinstated sanctions on the ICC that the Biden administration rescinded. Trump is confronting the ICC's blatant bias against Israel, protecting Israel's leaders from politically motivated persecutions, in response to the ICC issuing arrest orders for Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Gallant. Number 4, Trump is halting funding to the United Nations funding UNRWA, which is well documented to be a front for Hamas. Yes, UNRWA is Hamas, the United Nations agency responsible for dealing with the Arabs in Gaza, Judea, and Samaria, an organization that teaches the children there to kill Jews and destroy Israel and dream of being martyrs, whose many workers have been proven to be Hamas terrorists, an organization that is basically Hamas. Number 5, Trump is removing Biden's arms embargo on Israel. President Trump ordered removing all Biden administration restrictions on U.S. weapons shipments to Israel. The move was hailed by Israeli leaders as a significant step in safety and security for Israel. This is putting an end to another immorality of the Biden-Obama administration, a dangerous one that directly led to the deaths of so many of our holy IDF soldiers who had to go endanger their lives going house-to-house combat instead of the IDF being able to use other, safer methods that were withheld from us from the Biden administration. And this arms embargo also harmed our ability to properly fight our Islamo-Nazi enemy in a just and existential war to ensure that we destroy them so that they can never again be able to kill us. It is sad to even have to thank President Trump for doing this, since Biden should have never implemented these immoral sanctions against us in the middle of a war. But that is just how immoral an administration the Biden administration was. Next, Trump signs an order expelling pro-Hamas foreign students. This executive order permits the deportation of students and other foreign nationals who express support for terrorist organizations that are officially designated as such by the United States government. And here's another one, withdrawing from the World Health Organization, the WHO. First of all, this isn't just good for Israel, but for all Americans. The WHO is a politicized, Jew-hating, anti-Israel globalist organization, which has consistently singled out Israel as a violator of health rights. And the organization, it does more harm for good regarding people's health all over the world. Kudos to Trump, and I hope other countries and Israel joins in getting out of the WHO. Each of these actions highlights a renewed commitment to morality, justice, and common sense, values that should guide leadership at every level in every freedom-loving country. Now, I don't know when the ceasefire is going to fall apart and necessitate Israel to send the IDF back into Gaza to finish the job, destroy Hamas, and ensure that Gaza remains under Israeli control forever. But I'm very optimistic that it will be much sooner than many people might think. But even if it's not, the key accomplishment that ensures that next time we are going in for good is the metamorphosis of a good chunk of Israeli society, including many previous Israelis from the political left who believed in coexistence and today understand, post-October 7th, that our enemies in Gaza are Islamo-Nazis and that coexistence with them is impossible. And therefore Israel must remain in control of Gaza forever to prevent any other October 7th tragedies. That change in Israeli society is profound. It's not 100% of society, and maybe not even 50%, but enough for us as a nation to move forward and overcome all the pressure to go into Gaza and hold on to it and stay there, knowing that we have U.S. President Trump's support to do so when we do it. That is a groundbreaking change. It is important for everyone to understand that the work of our holy IDF soldiers in this war was not in vain. The price we've paid in this war, while tragically high due to immoral Western leadership from the Biden administration, a neutered senior IDF and intelligence command, very much influenced by the U.S. deep state and military apparatus that the Trump administration right now is firing, it will all pay off. Total victory in Gaza is closer than ever before. With God's help, it will come, and soon. Lastly, I must address a vital point for everyone regarding President Trump and how we move forward. It's vital for everyone that we stop putting too much faith in any of our human leaders, including in President Trump. Trump is human. He will do good, and we're going to celebrate, and he will make decisions that will upset us, and we will call it out. We cannot afford to place our ultimate trust in any human leader. They're all human. As Judaism teaches, Ein al mi lismoch ela al Avinu shabashamayim. We have no one to have faith in, to rely on, except our Father in heaven. God is running the show, always. Good times and bad times. It's time to move on from blindly trusting our leaders, no matter how good we think they are. We say thank you for the good policies they institute and decisions they make. We must call out the bad policies and bad decisions they make, regardless of who they are, support or not. But overall, we must constantly strengthen our faith in God above. That is how we merit the full redemption. And that's how I view the ceasefire extortion deal in the big picture of an unbelievably promising Trump administration that is going to do so much good for Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world. Not everything's going to be solved. Not everything's going to be good. Not every decision are we going to agree with. But overall, we have to stop relying on our faith in individuals and move that faith to be a total faith in God. And things are going to work themselves out through the ups and the downs. So strengthen your faith in the one above. We're in a new world. We have a much better outlook on where things are going than where things have been for the past 4 years under the very immoral Biden administration. Say thank you to God. Say thank you for the good things that President Trump and his administration will be doing. We're going to say thank you here in Israel to Prime Minister Netanyahu and his government, whatever they're going to be doing. I hope Prime Minister Netanyahu learns from what Trump is doing in Washington to get rid of the deep state that ruins things here and stops him from doing what is necessary to truly protect Israel and become a truly strong Jewish state, an enlarged Jewish state to protect us and all minorities in the region that need to be protected. But overall, it's up to the one above. We do our part, and we rely on him to do his part. Am Yisrael Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to the daily Pulse of Israel, belief-based, politically incorrect videos of truth about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. We are a donor-based operation. We need your donations to do our work, to make the videos, and to get them seen, since we're heavily censored across social media. So every donation, large or small, helps. And we want to be able to reach more people with this inspiring truth about Israel and the Jewish people and the freedom-loving world. So as many donations and as larger as they're able to be, helps us be able to reach that many more people. Signing off from our eternal and ancestral homeland, the land of Israel, and our beautiful, biblical, and indivisible capital, Jerusalem, since King David's time. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.